Michelle Joy Phelps, and I am in Sheffield sitting with none other than Billy Joe Saunders, who, oddly, over the course of like 5.5 years of doing this, I've never interviewed you before.
No, very lucky today.
I appreciate you letting me be here. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. You?
Good, thank you.
Are you like in Sheffield?
Well, I've been here before. Haven't really had the chance to explore it much. I think I've had like lunch somewhere. I don't even know where it was.
Meadowhall, probably.
Yeah. Well, you have a big fight coming up.
Yeah, I do, yeah.
Your third defense of your title.
Yep.
In Canada, your first fight overseas. Why Canada? You're the champion. Why not have him come here?
Because it went to purse bids. My team was negotiating with his team, and then they was talking about we both couldn't come to a deal for this side of Christmas. And to be honest with you, I've only been out once this year, and I don't want to be this out once a year fighter. So they ended up making an offer and that, and I said, yeah, no problem, I'll come to Canada. So that's where it is. It's in Canada. You know, people's asking them, I'm worried about the if it goes to the decision, you know, what's going to happen on the scorecards. But you know, my team's got a good relationship with the WBO and, you know, a good relationship with Golden Boys, so I'm sure that it'll all be a level playing field.
Isn't it sad that you have to think about those things?
Well, it is, but
especially in boxing.
On Oscar De La Hoya's show, you know, Golden Boy, Canelo is the cash cow for him, and personally myself, if you've won by half a round and you won a fight, you should get it. And I had Golovkin winning by 3 rounds when he boxed Canelo, and I thought he should have got it. But just because he was on a Golden Boy show and he's Golden Boy's #1, I feel that they give it a draw for a rematch or to benefit Canelo.
David Lemieux.
Yep.
What do you think of him?
He's a good fighter. He's a good puncher, but he hasn't been in with no one as slick as me. Not even Golovkin, because Golovkin is in your face fighter, and he's there to be it. You know, you don't have to look further for him. So you can afford to throw shots out of distance, and don't get me wrong, if he catches you then you will pay, but he hasn't been in with no one who's got to track me down and come and find me. So I'm looking forward to it. I think he's a good fighter, but he's sort of the biggest fight I can have, except from Canelo and Golovkin, if you know what I mean, and Jacobs, because he seems to have got a big name for his punching power and his boxing skills, but I don't see any boxing skills. All I see is, you know, a short man, good puncher, come forward and like a terror. And that ain't really the art of boxing. It's good for fans, but boxing is about hitting and not getting hit. And he don't do that very well.
Do you think you could stop him?
I never ever look for the stoppage, but you know, people that apply a lot of pressure to me, I frustrate them fast. They get frustrated very, very quick. And you know, you don't need to be an explosive big puncher to knock someone out of them little gloves on. Once you're in there, you are standing fire every shot. You know, you can feel. So if it comes, it comes, but I won't be looking for it.
From what you've seen in his prior fights, what would you say are his weaknesses?
Do you know what? If he can't have anything his own way and have a tear up, then it's obviously he can't rely on an option where he ain't got a plan B. He's just got a plan A. Come forward. If that don't work, then he's B. That's a big weakness what I look at, because if my boxing don't work, I know that I can get up and have a tear up. I know I can have a fight. You know, so you know, I might not be the best at that. You're extremely good at one thing. You're either very good at boxing or very good at having a tear up. He's very good at having a tear up, and I believe I'm very good at boxing. So
now I know you said that you think that you're going to make him beg for you to stop.
Yeah. Is that a press conference? I just like to talk shit sometimes, you know what I mean? But he will be, he will. He'll eat so many jabs and jabs and jabs, he'll just eat them all night long. All night. I can't miss it. If I can't beat him, then I can't beat Canelo or Golovkin. Then I just might as well forget about being where I think I should be.
Yeah.
So I've got confidence that, deep down, I've got confidence that I could stop him. But also I've got to be very wary of that. You know, he stopped 33 of his 40 fights, so I know that he's got to dig as well, so I've got to be cautious.
So funny thing that I read, which was so interesting, because I've never met someone who's had ostrich and kangaroo
Yeah.
meat ever.
No?
Now I've heard of horse meat.
Yeah.
A lot of the Eastern European guys tend to eat that. But what is it like? That just sounds so out there. Like, how did you even come across it?
Do you know what flange is?
No.
No, he eats that as well. He cooks that up as well. He eats that. That's also good for protein as well.
What does it taste like?
What flange?
Well, just the ostrich and the
It just tasted like meat. This tasted like normal meat. But have you had horse meat?
No.
No. Well,
But I mean, like, what would you compare it to, though?
a steak.
Steak?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Tasty.
Very, very nice. Very. I'm gonna have to try it. You're gonna have to try some.
You know what? I would try it, because I haven't tried horse meat, but I said, you know what? I'll give it a go.
My dietitian's cooking up now. Do you want to try some flange?
Yeah, I'll try it.
It's good.
Is it like because I like meats like a steak's medium rare. Is it more of like is it well done, or is it?
It all depends. It could be a bit slimy sometimes.
Well, now let's get back to boxing, shall we? Obviously, you're here in Sheffield. What inspired the change in trainers?
I think that's I think when you get a little bit sick of boxing, you look for, like, I was with my coach I started with for 8 years, and when you do the same thing day in and day out, it sort of gets to you a little bit. And I was having big fights, falling through Golovkin, Canelo, Eubank, all for, like, huge money, all falling through. And I just got to a stage in it where I thought, do I need to do boxing anymore? Like, I don't. I've won everything coming through. I've won from Southern area to British, Commonwealth, European, international, world. Do I really need to do it anymore? Like, I'm not doing it no more for the love. I don't really need the money side of it. Why am I doing it? And I couldn't really find a reason why I wanted to do it, because I wasn't happy doing it. Mm-hmm. And then I just got fat, and I was thinking, looking at myself, I was just, because I know what it takes to get that weight off and get back into shape. It's a lot of hard work, and I had no motivation to do it. So, I went with Adam Booth, which I enjoyed. I was there for 8 weeks, but I went there and there was just still something missing. Like, there was this for me, and I was just thinking, like, I just needed to get away from the London area and away from home, because how I live is like a bizarre life. Because if I'm at home in training camp, one of my friends will come and pick me up. We could go to the shop. Within the space of 25 minutes, I'm on the way on the A1 and heading to Scotland or heading to the other end of the country, to Wales. That's how randomly I'll just be gone. I've got to be back for training. Next thing you know, I'm just gone. So I needed to get away from all of that, because mates are mates and they're good, but when it comes to boxing, you've got to get serious. And I always had in my mind that Dominic Ingle come up to Sheffield and that, because I remember being up here, and I remember coming up here years ago sparring. And when you look at Dom's previous record and his dad and what the gym's done for people, Naz, Johnny Nelson, Junior Witter, all them coming through, they've all done great things. And I see, like, Cal Brook once, real big, and I thought, at least I know he's got to get that weight off. His body's got to go through what I go through. And I remember seeing him about 6 or 7 weeks later, and I've put on probably a couple of pounds since, and I thought, I haven't lost anything, but I've been going hard, and he looked really in shape. And it was just in my mind then, and I thought, you know what, I wanted to go with Dom from day one. So the hardest thing was with me is just leaving my area, just going away from everything, because I've got kids, and the hardest thing was just going. So I thought that it's got to be done. It's a career. And do you know what? I came up here in the first week, I just realised, like, definitely for me, like, 100%. Like, because I started to enjoy it again. You've got all the lads working together. Because I was trained on my own a lot, and when you come here, you got, like, they do circuits here and everything else. You're always with someone training, and it's nice because that leads to a bit of competition, and I love competition. Everyone wants the best out of themselves. Everyone gives 100%. You don't get a world champion get treated different than a debutant. What you do, they do. They might not be as fit as you or experienced, but they're on the same playing field. And it's good, and there's a good mixture here. We all mix in, we all get along, and I think that's the main thing. And when I got here, I just love it, and I fell back in love with boxing big time. I'm now thinking about fights. I can't always reading up about fights again, watching fights, watching my opponents, and I just feel the love of it again. And that's the main thing, because if you don't love boxing, then you might as well just forget about it. Because even if you are getting rewarded financially for it, it's not really worth your risk health. You know what I mean? Risking your health, getting in there when you don't want to be in there to take a punch and to, because it's dangerous. You're going to get brain damage. We've seen the past of, the sad things that's happened in boxing, and if you're not 100% in love with it and not prepared to give 100%, then I personally think you just might as well leave it.
We know that what the long-term effects could be in boxing and having a family. Is there at some point where you think, I'm going to give myself until this point of my life before I call it a day? I've
always said from day one I ever put my gloves on, so I realised I was any good. 30 years of age, I want to be done and finished. But, how I'm enjoying it now, 30, 32 is young.
Yeah.
So if I always give myself that time when I wasn't in love with it a little bit. But when you're like now, I can carry on forever. And the years are just flying. I'm 28 now. So if I've got another 4 years, then, but I've got to make them good 4 years. It's no good just going in and just fighting and having 6-7 weeks off, then coming back in the gym. And it's just no good, because what I like as well, that I thought I'll have 2 weeks off after, but Dom said, no, you have 1 week off and you're back in the gym. But I needed that, because I haven't been taught like that before, and I'm thinking, yeah, he's right, I only need a week off. I had a week off, just done what I wanted to do, back in the gym training. And thank God I did, because I got a big fight off the back of that. Normally it's fat camps, I'm losing the first 6-7 weeks just getting the weight off. Then I've got to get fit, then you've got to cram everything in, but
yeah,
it's all fell into place now since I've been in Sheffield.
So I heard that Dom cooks for you.
Well, he do cook when we're in camp. Last time, but Greg cooks at the minute, my dietitian Greg.
Explain your new relationship with Dom.
Dom's the sort of character that, if he says be here on time, you've got to be there at time. You know what I mean?
Else.
Yeah, like you just know, because you've got to have that respect for a trainer.
Yeah.
And he don't talk to people like rubbish or dirt, but he talks to you how you need to be talked to, because at the end of the day, we're the pupils, and he's the teacher, if you want to call it. But he's got a real good way about him. He understands as well. Like with Dom, he don't kill you today, kill you tomorrow. If you've had a hard day yesterday, you'll have a medium day today. He's very good at that. And he reminds me a lot of Jimmy Tibbs, and for someone of Dom's age to have that sort of knowledge of someone who's been in it for 30 years, that's very good. You don't really get that, and Dom's a real. He can read boxing. A lot of people look at Dom and they'll probably think, he can't throw a punch, he can't. But you watch him and the way he talks about fights and the way he goes on, he knows he's boxing inside out. He's a real. I don't think he's obsessed with it, but he's just good at what he does. You get natural talents. And I think that Dom's picked up off his dad well. He's had a good teacher, all of his life, so he's just got that bred in him. And you can't. Me personally, I've worked with everyone, and Dom's the most person I've clicked with from day one, because I knew when you know that someone knows what they're talking about, you put every bit of trust in them. And it's hard to do that with some trainers, but with Dom, from day one, I just give him every bit of trust, because I came here an absolute slob, and I was thinking, I've tried to do it my way, it don't work. It's alright, I just listen to him. And then I was getting all these meals brought in, I was thinking, I'm not going to lose weight eating this. And this was like cheese, steak, and
all the good stuff.
Yeah, and I was thinking, how am I going to lose any weight? But I was thinking, I'll do it. And I was doing like a little bit of training, I was thinking, I can't see this working in my own head. And then like the first 2 weeks, I was a stone lighter. I was thinking, so then I just carried on. Then I knew, I thought, this do work. Then I carried on, and the rest was history, really. So
your stable mates are a bit like brothers, right?
Yeah, we're with each other probably more than our families.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? We're from Monday to Monday, really, because even some weekends we're probably work, but from Monday to Friday we're probably in the morning we'll run together, in the evening we'll do blows together, we'll do a little bit of body sparring, we'll do the lines. Everybody's connected, well connected here with each other, and you've got a little group of big talents as well, so they're all coming through, and it's good because, you know, they're probably looking at Cal Brook, myself fighting for world titles, and that, you know, they're going just as hard as us to get there. And the same as me when I was young, you know, watching. I remember Joe.
Motivate them.
Yeah, I remember Joe Kawasaki walked in my gym, and when he walked in as an amateur, I was looking at him. I was thinking, "Is that him?" Like, I just wanted to touch him. I was thinking, do you know what I mean? But it gave me a little bit. I wanted to be world champion. I remember he had his belts there, and you know, you don't forget stuff like that.
Yeah.
And obviously, we all want a better life for our families and for ourselves. So I think that's the main motivation for our family.
So what do you guys all do together?
Do you know what? We train that hard. Once you finish training, you just can't wait for bed. Like, with me, when I'm at home, if I finish training, no matter how tired I am, I'm out doing something. But here, where you just train so hard, you can't wait just to lay down and rest. You know, we might go to Ellerby Hall to the, you know, the steam room and swimming pool, or go snooker.
Yeah.
It's just something to take your mind off the boxing, because it's not good to think about the fight or think about the boxing 24/7, because you can get a little bit tense, get you a little bit. So I like to go for a game of snooker or a walk around medal.
Hey Fight fans, it's Michelle Joy Phelps, and if you haven't already subscribed to my YouTube channel, make sure you go ahead and do so by clicking right here.